My people. So, like today's show, you do not want to miss it. We got a heck of a topic today on the God Pure Wisdom Show. Today's topic is what's wrong with paying for sex, brother Gus. Are you ready for this topic today, or what?
Yes, indeed, I am. The question is, are the people ready?
Man, I do not know because man, we're gonna get some mixed emotions, some mixed feelings about this one. So we're gonna be back right with you guys after the intro and after the short little break. See you guys on the other side. This is the God Peel Wisdom Show. Hello, my people, my people, my people. Just want to take a quick break to tell you about our wonderful sponsor, North Bay Freight. I know you might be getting tired of just sitting around the house and you may not be going anywhere whatsoever, but I want to tell you about a wonderful opportunity, an opportunity of a lifetime. Make up to $100,000 traveling from East Coast to the West Coast. Man, when I say that, like, I get tired of seeing the same old, yes, I do. Sometimes I want to just go on the road myself, but they are hiring. You can get your CDLs right now. Just simply hit them up on Facebook or on Instagram at North Bay Freight. And by the way, if you happen to be a corporate executive that makes decisions about where to ship your stuff, they can help you out too. They can get it anywhere, no matter how big or how small. They do it across the nation. North Bay Freight. Check them out. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. And Brother Gus, give us that phrase that pays the bills.
Yes, yes. Welcome all to the God Pill Wisdom Show, the show where you can take God's pill for his wisdom.
Indeed. You guys see the topic right there in the lower left hand, lower left hand corner. And shout out to Lil Prado, Prado. I think that's Prado. I can't see it. He says, "Yo." And shout out to Snowman in the morning. He says, "Hey there." We got some people that's in the building, the virtual building, with us while we are broadcasting this live today. And of course, Brother Gus is on the phone. So, Brother Gus, what is your initial thoughts on today's topic? Today's topic is, what's wrong with paying for sex?
Yeah, man, considering the fact that we just did a three-part series on manhood, um, man, I gotta ask, like, man, are people really questioning these things now? Like, like is it a question of? I mean, there used to be a day where people
Yeah,
just did this, right? People, I mean, this is the oldest profession,
right.
but people had to wonder if it's right or wrong now.
Brother, this is the world we living in. We headed right into the land of Babylon nowadays, and it seems to me that there's a lot of people who who thinks that, like, because we are just free, that we can just abuse our freedom. So I
Yeah,
mean, I understand, do what you want, and do it, the way you want to. But when we think of transactional, expression of our, vital organs, our private members, transact, in a transactional way, it, it really takes away from, like, what they were intentionally, like, thought to be activated for.
yeah, yeah. Yes, indeed. Um, this is where we are at. You said Babylon. That's a
Yeah.
big word, very big word, and yeah, we are seeing a lot of Babylonian things today.
Yeah, yeah, we are, brother. This topic, like, got brought up on Abba with the debate with Abba and Preach versus Fresh and Fit podcast. So I guess you can search it somewhere, and you'll find the original conversation about this. And they were, going back and forth. And like, one of the biggest things that stood out about the whole the debacle was that, like, like, if you pay for it, You know what I mean? If you pay for a good time, you can avoid, all of the things that like come with like, trying to date. Brother, is there such a thing? Do we got our minds in the wrong places if we thinking that way?
Well, I'll ask. Well, I'll answer the second question first with this one. Yes, our minds are in the wrong place for us to be thinking this way. And first off, I mean, the things that comes with dating, um, in all lessons, we have to look at the origins of where we are today. Um, I'm getting a little tired, and I'm being very light when I say this, but I'm
Mhm.
getting very tired of people saying, "Oh, it's a new day. We can do things differently now." I know you know this, brother, but there's a line between freedom and rebellion.
Right.
Um, Slaves being freed, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. But if someone has slaves, right, or workers of any sort, and they give too much freedom to those slaves, well, the only way for those slaves to gain freedom is by rebelling against their masters. Now, that rebellion, in all essence, that's a holy rebellion. That's a good rebellion because they're
Right.
rebelling against bad masters. No one should have people as slaves. See,
Yeah.
maybe when these aliens come down, we can make slaves of them. Maybe our horses or our dogs or our oxen or whatever, and we shouldn't really make them slaves. We should work with them, or else they're going to
Right.
go extinct. But there's a line between freedom and rebellion. Freedom is when you have the ability to do what you need to do. Rebellion is doing what you want to do. Paying for sex. We just went through a three-part series on manhood. Paying for sex. Scripture says, I'll put it this way. Scripture says, Jesus said, where your treasure is where your heart is. Wherever
Mm.
you put your money, that's where your heart is. And Jesus said clearly, put your heart or your hard earned money into good things. If you're willing to pay for sex, that means your heart is on sex. That means there's going to be a point where someone that you grew up with is going to need you. Someone that you love, someone that respect you is going to need you. And because you have the opportunity to get some sex from a woman, you're going to put off those responsibilities.
That's
In the
huge.
man in the street, that's called a simp. That's called a punk.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, and this is what we're dealing with.
But isn't it also said, and like I love the like what you illustrated about the treasure, like what Jesus said about treasure, is where your heart is, and if you fall in victim to that, you are you are a simp, like you trying to avoid being a simp, but you're putting yourself further into becoming a simp this way.
Yeah,
This is still simping.
yeah,
Like like they rally so hard about like sipping nowadays. Like, okay, I don't want to, I don't want to pay, give my money to a woman. I don't want to lose my money to a woman in marriage. But scripture also goes on to say, and we're not trying to convert, we never ever trying to convert nobody to Christianity. Don't think that. We already discussed that. But the
mhm,
mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit that comes out of
mhm,
Proverbs. 2024
yeah,
too. You fall into like if you if like all you want is a good time with an adulterous woman anyways, these sex workers, they got bodies upon bodies,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and obviously, like you fall into that lifestyle, you take on a lot of those spirits, a lot of those emotions. You get a lot of transfer of that energy, that like that woman is walking around with. So it
yeah,
is that deep pit,
and that puts you right out of fellowship, right out of the whole 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 pureness that you can be walking in with God. So like, it's really shameful, when we see these news stories, of men who get highlighted in this light, and we cannot excuse women too, that like, who's doing the same thing, like they women are not getting the news stories put on them, but I'm pretty sure if we started seeing more stories of women committing these type of acts, and if the news would like be a little bit more fair to man, and say, okay, well, we're going to put some of these stories of women of what they're doing too, because they're paying for it too. You'll see that, we will see how shameful it is, of this sex work. We just seen OnlyFans, decide to like, okay, well, we don't want it, on our platform, but then they turn around and change their mind, because like they saw their money lose. They saw that like, okay, we might lose a little bit of money. But they're still gonna fall though. We know they're gonna still fall, because like, this is not sustainable. We know this business model is not sustainable in the public. So it's going to turn into a porn site pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's going to be shame. It's going to be shameful to be on that site.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And that's if it's not a porn site already. I consider it as one of those.
Yeah, it's a porn site. That's what it is. Yeah. That's all it is. And the fact that they're gonna endorse it and sign off on it now, it says a lot. Like, okay, well, we don't, we've seen we were making money from it, and we see that we don't want to hurt and offend women, and we're just gonna turn it back on. You can do whatever you want on it now. But yeah, go ahead, brother. I don't want to step over you too much. I know we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's all right. Man, it's there's something. See, because I understand things are different these days, or they look different. Really, it's nothing really new under the sun. But I understand that things aren't changing. Times are different from the generations of the generationalists, the baby boomers, so on and so forth. And when things are different and when they're changing so rapidly, sometimes it can be very hard to put things into perspective, which would thus result in a question like, what's wrong with paying for sex? But to put things into perspective, I would like to use a question, use a little bit of Socratics here, to get people to realize reality aside from all the distractions that's going on today. And that question is this: if you paid for sex as a man, if you paid for sex and you have children and you raise the children right, and they have children and they raise their children right, now you have grandkids. If your grandkids somehow, some way found out that you paid for sex when you were struggling with these issues, when you were struggling with loneliness and lust and things of that nature, would your grandchildren be proud of you?
Brother, what you just pointed to is the fact of morals and values. And there's two important quotes here, and this is how I'm going to end this, and it really answers back, or really puts some sauce on what you just said. It's, a prostitute, a lady who sells her body to those who have sold their morals, also their values. And then there's a quote by C.S. Lewis that says, prostitutes are in no danger of finding their present life so satisfactory that they cannot turn to God. The proud, though the self-righteous, those are the ones that are in danger. So those that are already coming, to up to bat, so to speak, when they come to the transactional circle,
Mhm.
and find themselves self-righteous in what they're doing. But the fact of the matter is, like, you can avoid this. You can stop enabling these women to feel like that there's no other option. We all know that there's an option. That option is, to start finding your life, finding a different way, finding a different purpose. And for us man who think that this is the only way, to avoid hurt, pain, you know, um, or the challenge of and the courage to actually be better, at, like, just communicating with women. you know uh there's options. You can do it. You don't have to do it this way. You don't have to sell your morals and your values. You don't have to be scum, and make these women continue to be scum. Both parties have a choice, and us as a community, we have a choice to embrace these people and love them, and tell them, like, hey, you don't have to do this.
Mm. Wow.
So anything final, brother, before we break away?
Yeah. Just to the listeners, to our media, social media family, um, man, don't get distracted. Don't listen to everything that you see. Don't do things just because you see it or you hear it. This is a good time. I know this may sound crazy, but it's a good time to lock yourself in your house for a bit. It's a good time to get away from entertainment. Entertainment does nothing for you in your life. Nothing for you. The only thing entertainment tends to is emotion. And emotion is up and down. Regardless of how much entertainment you get in, is up and down. So don't live your life based off of what you learned from something that was entertaining or entertainment. Go to God and check everything out with God. See what his word says. See, and you'll have a guideline, you'll have a system, you'll have, in all essence, you'll have a shortcut to life. Because everyone else, they think they have the answer, they think they have the shortcut, and they also think they're God. So I'll leave you guys with that. Stay wise.
Indeed. Well, this is a short show today. It is my son's birthday, as at the time that we are recording live right now. So I got to get to my son. And he is getting out of school right now. Can get to him and celebrate his 12th birthday. So happy birthday to my son.
Yeah, happy
Who's
birthday.
12 years old today. So
Wow.
to each and every one of you guys, thank you guys for all the support. Those who was watching live today and checked in, appreciate your check-ins. Don't forget to check out Brother Augustus Vaughn's library. We got it right here across the screen here, augustusvaughn.com. Check that out. Share that link. If it's something on there that, like, it'd be helpful to somebody else, go look at it. Go look at the website at least. Go look at it and say, okay, well, this would be helpful for me, and this would be helpful for my brother, this would be helpful to my sister, and just and let somebody know about it. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. We try to promote that each and every show. As we want to keep our brother encouraged. We want to keep you guys encouraged too, through the work he's doing.
Agreed.
And then, as always, shout out to our sponsors, North Bay Freight, as well as buckwildtshirts.com, buckwildtshirts.com, and as well as Everyone Wins Foundation, which you can find them at everyonewin.org. That's everyone, the number one, everyonewin.org. We have a little bit longer show going into next week. We'll do something special with you. We'll make up for it, and we'll see you guys next week. Until next time, many blessings, peace, and lots of love. We're out.